This portion of the Rusty Humphries Rebellion, it's brought to you by our good friends at Australian Dream Arthritis Pain Relief Cream. That's right. If you're in pain, don't worry. Australian Dream Arthritis Pain Relief Cream will do the trick. It'll help you feel better, and it's available at Walmart, Walgreens, and all great retailers. You don't want to miss it. Make sure you go and check it out. Australian Dream Arthritis Pain Relief Cream and Back Pain Relief Cream, available at Walmart, Walgreens, and all great retailers. Welcome. It is the Monday edition of the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. We are powered by Right Wing News. Brought to you by Australian Dream Arthritis Pain Relief Cream, by Wax RX, by my brand new book, which is called, I always forget, 7 Ways to Win Political Debates with Your Liberal Family and Friends and Still Keep Them as Family and Friends. Available only at Amazon and Audible. It's in Kindle version. It is in paperback and on Audible. Want folks to check in. We got a lot to talk about tonight and would love to hear from you. Let's see here. Rhonda says, you guys are great. Thank you. Bill's checking in from Georgia. Tyler says hello. Christopher says, yay, it's something. Hi, Jerry, Tootsie. Cecilia, you're breaking my heart. Good evening. Let's see who else we got here. Jerry's there. Tracy says, bring on the good news. What is good news? You know what? If you've got a suggestion on what the good news is, I'd love to hear it. Let's work about, but I'll try to bring some stuff up. How's that? Gwen's checking in. Laura's in California. Sue says hi there. Robin's in Texas. Mike in Scarsdale, New York. Ron in Spring Hill, Florida. Hey, Ron. Cynthia in San Diego. Let's see here. Drew says, we need no more proof. We need someone with the guts to prosecute. Hey, from Kentucky. Texas Deplorable here. Arizona. Michael, how you doing? Elizabeth from South Texas. Dennis from Kansas. All right, let's get her down. Okay. So what I started off this broadcast with is there is proof that there is a connection between Hillary Clinton and Russia. I saw this video. I wanted to share it with you. It is by a left-leaning conservative. His name is Jimmy Dore, and he's got proof, some facts, and he breaks it down in about 3 minutes. I'd love to get your take on it. Let's go right to it here on the Rusty Humphries Rebellion.
First of all, of the Russia bullshit, McCarthyism, smears, or whatever propaganda that's been being pushed through the media from the Democrats and through all the neoliberal elite has been pushing this Russia thing. And where did it come from? This is an internal document from the Hillary Clinton campaign, and it was created. Hillary Clinton for President consultant team, guy named Pete Brodnitz. This is from June 26, 2015, and this is from an internal poll they did on the horse race, and it's called Top Line Results. So if you look where that arrow points. That's the conclusion of their internal polling was that Secretary Clinton's top vulnerability as tested in this poll is the attack that claims that as Secretary of State, she signed off on a deal that gave the Russian government control over 20% of Americans' uranium production after investors in the deal donated over $140 million to the Clinton Foundation, just like Dylan Ratigan just said. And by the way, Bill Clinton also got $500,000 from a Kremlin-connected bank at the same time as this deal was going through, and that was among his highest-paid speeches of his life. So that's real. So that's a real connection. Her internal polling showed that was her biggest vulnerability because half of all likely voters are less likely to support Clinton after hearing that statement, and 17% were much less likely to support. So they said that was her biggest vulnerability. And what do you do with your vulnerability? You throw it on your opponent. Also, what is your opponent's biggest strength? You attack it. When John Kerry ran against George Bush, he was a war hero. He had Purple Hearts and a Bronze Star. They attacked his Purple Hearts. They said they were all fake. He got them when he was running away. His guys who worked with him on the Swift boat hated him. That's where they attacked his strength. And so Donald Trump's biggest strength was his patriotism. So they fucking take her biggest vulnerability and they throw it on his biggest strength. And that was a decision made by John fucking Podesta. And how do I know that? Because here it is. 2015. So just a few months after that internal report, Donald Trump starts to surge. At the end of 2015, he starts to surge, and they start to get scared. So if you read that part in blue at the bottom, what it says is, the best approach is to slaughter Donald for his bromance with Putin. That's from December 2015, after the June thing. So there you go. That's where this comes from. This is fucking made up. And you know how I know it will never be proven is because the FBI and the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, were not allowed to look at the DNC or Podesta servers. So we'll never have fucking proof ever. That's the only way you could prove it. So there you go. How is that fucking possible? You tell me how that's fucking possible.
That's why we're here.
I'll tell you how that's possible, because they're all fucking corrupt. That's how it's possible. Because at the time, Loretta Lynch was running the Department of Justice. That's why. Because Barack Obama was the president. That's why. And everybody thought Hillary Clinton was going to be fucking president. That's why it happened. I just answered.
Okay, so that was a left-wing comic. Sorry about the language there, folks. I can't control what he had to say, but he had some. He's right on the money, though. When he's talking about the proof that this was all a scam, and he brought up a great thing too, and that is one of the things Democrats are very, very adept at doing is when they have a problem, they will push that problem onto their opponent, and they will accuse the opponent of doing what it is that they have themselves done. And it is a very effective technique. You see it all the time. And we just have to get better as conservatives in fighting back. And one of the ways you can do it is 7 ways to win political debates with your liberal family and friends. Available at Amazon and Audible. What are your thoughts? Do you agree with what he had to say? I'd love your comments right now. I'd love to get some interaction, your hearts, your emojis. Let's get those going. Let's get some comments going. I want to know what you think about what he had to say. Or is this just another Trump lie to try to make Hillary Clinton look bad? What do you think? Jason says, I love your show in Ohio. Brandy says, erase her. Well, let's be careful with our language there. Rambo says, they are corrupt. That's why they want to take all of our guns so we can't fight back. Tom says it's old news. It's old news, but Tom, people aren't listening to it. They're not absorbing it. It continues to be a distraction. People continue to fight and not pay attention to it. It's all Trump, Russia, Trump, Russia, Trump, Russia, Trump, Russia. When it's not Trump and Russia, it was Hillary and Russia. It was the Democrats and Russia. It was the Democrats that tried to steal this election, not Donald Trump. And we knew this months, if not years beforehand. Now, the other question you have to ask is Donald Trump right when he is attacking Attorney General Jeff Sessions right now? I've always liked Jeff Sessions. I knew him as a senator. He'd been on my program a number of times. The problem I'm seeing is he seems a little cowardly. He should have. Can you imagine a Democrat recusing themselves over anything? Certainly when they're in a position of power to do something to help. Never. Never. They don't do it. But Republicans, we always got to be the nice guys, and we got to make sure Democrats aren't mad, and the media's not mad at us. So what do? Well, we do what the media says. We do what the Democrats say, and they give up, they give in, they cave, and then we get our asses handed to us. Well, enough's enough, and Donald Trump is right. Jeff Sessions, stand up. Quit recusing yourself on these things and say, stop. Enough is enough of these phony baloney investigations. Speaking of phony baloney investigation, Jared Kushner was investigated today. And I'll be honest, I'm not a big Jared Kushner fan. but they did talk about him a little bit. They had Congressman Jason Chaffetz on Fox News earlier today, and this is what they had to say.
I mean, when I tried as the chairman of the Oversight Committee to bring in Ben Rhodes to talk about the Iran situation, nobody knows what the deal with Iran was.
Right.
They claimed executive privilege. I think the Trumps need to actually get a lot of credit for openness and transparency. They didn't delete their emails. They provided their emails.
Right.
When they wanted to talk to them, they said, you can talk to us. And yet when we did the same thing with the Democrats, they give us a stiff arm every single step of the way.
Former Congressman, you know there is a double standard in Washington,
Yes.
D.C. and the mainstream media.
And there's a double standard with the United States Senate Republicans because they are holding them to a much higher standard with very little evidence than they ever did the Clintons. And that investigation, why did it end? Just because there was a political election. I think that's wrong.
Okay, very well said, and I agree. And, Jeff Sessions has the power to start looking into the Clintons, and he should do it. Now, there were rumors today that Donald Trump was thinking about getting rid of Jeff Sessions and putting Rudy Giuliani in there. Now, I would love that. I'm a big Rudy fan. I think he would do an incredible job. Rudy says he doesn't want the job. I think Rudy's lying right now. But I would love to see it, and I'm curious if you would too. Jason says, I hope Kid Rock gets in. Me too. Chuck says, first sample of uranium was carried by Mueller. Is that right? Clint says, why is everybody so afraid of being called a bigot and a racist? Clinton, Podesta, Lynch, Rice, and Obama guilty. Let's do something. Trey Gowdy for Attorney General. Yes. Richard. Chuck thinks Jeff Sessions is okay. Brian says, it's like a baseball game when the pitcher gets behind on his count. You pull him out. Nothing personal. It's just all about the win. Right. Sessions should go after the Clintons, says Tom. Sean says, when everybody gets a trophy, people don't know how to lose. True. Brian says, Jason is a great individual. Darren says, I'm tired of conservatives playing nice. Can't get nowhere when you're the only one playing fair. That's true. Anna says, it's not old news. That woman... she used the B word. That woman should be held accountable. With Sessions, he won't investigate Hillary. Should have been the first thing he did when he was sworn in. All this Russia stuff is just to take away from Hillary. People want her locked up. I agree with you. Jorge says, I couldn't have said it better myself. That's what we need in this country. People that tell it the way it is. Don't sugarcoat stuff. Rudy baby, says Mike, he's the man. Brian says Rudy would go after the Clintons in a minute. Rudy would ram it. Go get him, Sessions. Yes, go Rudy. Go Kid Rock. I'd love to see Kid Rock in there, Tom. Yes. John says Rudy and Newt should have an active role in this administration. I agree. One of the problems that I've had with Donald Trump is the people that were really, really for him at the beginning, he has kind of ignored. And he's gotten all these people that were establishment people, Sean Spicer, for example, Reince Priebus, these people that were the, Donald come-latelys, and he's hired them. And they've not done a very good job for him. And it is time to clean house. It's time to clean house in the White House, and then it's time to clean house in Washington and drain that damn swamp. That's what I think. Sean has a lot of respect for Rudy. He's an honest man, he says. Gloria says either Rudy or Trey would be great as AG. Brian says Sheriff Joe needs to be doing something. Sheriff Joe just lives down the street from me right here. He's a friend of mine. I've known him for years. He would love to do something. He's getting up there in age, but I don't think he's any younger than or older than John McCain is. Sheriff Joe is itching to do something in this administration, and he would do a great job and deserves a job. Donald Trump did give a speech today. I'm going to play just a little bit of the speech. It's 40 minutes. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but let's listen to a little bit of the President of the United States giving a speech today. This was at the Boy Scout Jubilee. Remember when the Democrats hated the Boy Scouts? Remember when they booed the Boy Scouts when the Boy Scouts were going to lead the Pledge of Allegiance at a Democrat convention? They booed the Boy Scouts. Anyway, President Trump acknowledges the Boy Scouts and gives them a nice speech. Let's take a listen to some of it here on the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. USA, yes, I love it. USA, USA. USA. I don't remember us doing those chants under Obama. People didn't love America. America's back, baby.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. I am thrilled to be here. Thrilled. And if you think that was an easy trip, you're wrong, but I am thrilled. 19th Boy Scout Jamboree, wow. And to address such a tremendous group, boy, you have a lot of people here. The press will say it's about 200 people. It looks like about 45,000 people. You set a record today. You set a record. That's a great honor, believe me. Tonight, we put aside all of the policy fights in Washington, D.C. you've been hearing about with the fake news and all of that. We're going to put that aside. And instead, we're going to talk about success, about how all of you amazing young scouts can achieve your dreams, what to think of, what I've been thinking about. You want to achieve your dreams? I said, who the hell wants to speak about politics when I'm in front of the Boy Scouts, right?
I love it.
There are many great honors that come with the job of being President of the United States. But looking out at this incredible gathering of mostly young patriots, mostly young, I'm especially proud to speak to you as the honorary president of the Boy Scouts of America. You are the young people of character and integrity who will serve as leaders in our communities and uphold the sacred values of our nation. I want to thank Boy Scouts President Randall Stevenson.
I got to stop right now. I want to make a quick comment here. I'm noticing on our comments from a guy named Nico. Nico just said, I can't wait to throw a block party when he gets assassinated. Nico, I will be reporting you to the FBI. And we will make sure that your information is sent to the federal authorities for throwing the idea of assassinating the President of the United States. We will not tolerate that. You will be blocked from this feed as soon as I'm done with this show, and I will send your information to the federal authorities. I will do it as soon as the show's over. Just so you know, you don't do that on my feed ever. I don't care if it's Trump or Obama, Clinton, Bush. You don't say you're happy when somebody gets assassinated. You dumbass. You hater. I look forward to your arrest. I'm going to follow this case, and I will throw a block party when you're arrested. I can't wait, Nico Gatti. Nico, Neacogatti. Nico, I look forward to your arrest. I will have a party on this show when you're in prison for talking about the assassination of a president of the United States. So, Nico, good luck in jail. Anyway, sorry for interrupting the president's speech. Just thought I'd let everybody know, and let's get back to Donald Trump and his talking.
Chief Scout Executive Michael Surbal, Jamboree Chairman Ralph De La Vega, and the thousands of volunteers who have made this a life-changing experience for all of you. And when they asked me to be here, I said absolutely yes.
You know, that's another great point, just thinking about I don't remember Obama talking excitedly about the Boy Scouts. Maybe he did. I don't remember him, being inspirational to God-fearing, America-loving people. I don't remember it. Maybe I just blanked it out. I don't know, but I don't recall. Will you do me a favor right now? We need some engagement. I want to see your comments. Nico, he's going to prison. That's going to be, well, at least the FBI and the Secret Service are going to go to his house. By the way, Nico, my cousin's in the Secret Service, so believe me, you're going to get a call. Can't wait. Can't wait. I don't suffer fools, and I don't suffer people who would celebrate the murder of anybody. Now we're going to celebrate the incarceration of you because of your hatred. But anyway, so do me a favor again, share this with your friends. Give me some thumbs up, some hearts. Let people know that you're paying attention, your comments, and then let's get back to President Trump here on the Rusty Humphries Rebellion.
Finally, and we can't forget these people, I especially want to salute the moms and the dads and troop leaders
this is great.
who are here tonight. Thank you for making scouting possible. Thank you, Mom and Dad.
This is great.
Troop leaders.
This is great. Good for him.
When you volunteer for the Boy Scouts, you are not only shaping young lives, you are shaping the future of America. The United States has no better citizens than its Boy Scouts. No better. The values, traditions, and skills you learn here will serve you throughout your lives. And just as importantly, they will serve your families, your cities, and in the future and in the present will serve your country. The Scouts believe in putting America first.
Amen, brother. Amen, brother.
You know, I go to Washington and I see all these politicians and I see the swamp and it's not a good place. In fact, today I said we ought to change it from the word swamp to the word cesspool or perhaps to the word sewer, but it's not good. Not good. And I see what's going on, and believe me, I'd much rather be with you, that I can tell you.
I have missed this kind of a president. This is great.
I'll tell you the reason that I love this and the reason that I really wanted to be here is because as president, I rely on former Boy Scouts every single day, and so do the American people. It's amazing how many Boy Scouts we have at the highest level of our great government. Many of my top advisors in the White House were Scouts. 10 members of my cabinet were Scouts. Can you believe that? 10. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson is not only a Boy Scout, he's your former national president. The Vice President of the United States, Mike Pence, good guy, was a Scout, and it meant so much to him. Some of you here tonight might even have camped out in this yard when Mike was the governor of Indiana, but the scouting was very, very important. And by the way, where are our Indiana Scouts tonight?
Yes, Melissa, we love Girl Scouts too. This was just a Boy Scout jamboree, but yes, love the Girl Scouts, love their cookies.
I wonder if the television cameras will follow you. They don't like doing that when they see these massive crowds. They don't like doing that. Hi, folks.
Just another minute or two here.
A lot of love in this big, beautiful place. A lot of love, and a lot of love for our country. There's a lot of love for our country. Secretary of the Interior, Ryan Zinke, is here tonight. Come here, Ryan. Ryan is an Eagle Scout from Big Sky Country in Montana. Pretty good. And by the way, he is doing a fantastic job. He makes sure that we leave our national parks and federal lands better than we found them, in the best scouting tradition. So thank you very much, Ryan. Secretary of Energy Rick Perry of Texas, an Eagle Scout from the great state.
Okay, good job, Mr. President. And it's a long speech, and you can find it online. It's about 40 minutes, and he did an awesome job, and I'm proud of him. And you know, that was one of the things people, why didn't you like Obama? Because Obama didn't do stuff like that. Obama didn't celebrate America. It was always victimhood. It was always America's at fault. You know, it's easy to find fault with something. It is. But the truth is that no country in the history of the world has done more to help the poor or cure the sick or feed the hungry or make the world a better place than America has. And damn it, we have a right to be proud of it. And we have a responsibility to keep pushing that message. It's the right thing to do. And when all you can do is talk about how bad everything is, take a look at this generation. This generation of children that grew up under Obama, they don't know who they are. They're lost. They don't know what sex they want to be. They don't know if they want to be humans or cats. They're lost. Anxiety is taken over the generation. Instead of patriotism or pride or inspiration. It's scary. It's a scary time for them. I'm hoping President Trump can help bring us out of that. Let's see. Let's take a look at some of your comments. Dan says it's time to make Boy Scout, Eagle Scout cookies. Okay. Thomas says, unfortunately, thanks to liberal celebrities and politicians saying similar things and absolutely nothing is being done to harm them. That's why these dumbasses say things like that. Oh, you're talking about the guy Nico, who I'm going to turn into the federal authorities today, the guy that threatened assassination or partying for assassination of Trump? Yeah, don't worry. He'll get his. Michelle, my nephew is an Eagle Scout attending the Jamboree. What an honor for him to be there. That is cool. How cool is that? Dan said, this president doesn't forget anyone. Bart says, I love my president. Melissa says, thank you, Rusty. Excellent. Laverne says, Mr. President, you're a breath of fresh air. Gary says, don't like Girl Scout cookies, but I ate. Thank you. Let's see here. Gloria says, so true what you say. Obama was not our leader. No, it's not that he wasn't our leader. He was elected to be a leader. He just wasn't a good leader. There's a difference between being a elected politician and a leader. Leaders inspire. He inspired some people, but he didn't try or didn't want to inspire everybody. And part of the problem is Trump is trying to inspire everybody, but there are so many people that don't want to have it. Okay, what is the new thing that the Democrats are doing? It's not New Deal, it's Real Deal or something silly. The Democrats are coming out with the same old playbook, the same old stuff. Let's just spend more money. Let's just give it away to more people. The more people we can have on government welfare programs, the more they'll vote for us. Because when Republicans have to be adults and say, gosh, we can't afford it. It's like today. My daughter is this close to getting her driver's license. And she's this close to getting a car, right? And she's like, well, I want to get she wants a VW Bug. one of the newer ones, or she wants a PT Cruiser. Well, heck, I want a Lamborghini. Can't afford it. I have to be the one that says, no, unfortunately, your first car is kind of whatever you can get, and it's just whatever can get you to point A to point B and not break down. So we'll see what it can be, but we got a budget. Democrats never can ever live within a budget, ever. And whenever there's a budget, they always want to spend more. It's never enough. And so Republicans have to be the adults in the room. And that's not always fun to say no to things that seem fun and nice. So now Chuck Schumer said single-payer health care. That's what they're going for. Again, it sounds great. So does free education. How much is that really going to cost? And those colleges, what a scam they are. Every time there's another program that helps them out, they jack up the prices. Pieces of garbage. Pieces of garbage. You know, the other thing that they're pushing, these sanctuary cities. Horrible, horrible story. Did you see this one out of San Antonio? Oh, absolutely horrible. And another reason why we're trying to get rid of these sanctuary cities. Immigrants wept, pled for water, pounded on the truck. A tractor trailer was pitch black inside, crammed with maybe 90 immigrants or more, and already hot when it left the Texas border town of Laredo for the 150-mile trip north to San Antonio. It wasn't long before the passengers, sweating profusely in the rising oven-like heat, started crying and pleading for water. Children whimpered. People took turns breathing through a single hole in the wall. They pounded on the sides of the truck and yelled to try to get the driver's attention when they began passing out. By the time the driver stopped at a Walmart in San Antonio on Saturday night and opened the door, as many as 8 passengers were dead, and 2 more would soon die in an immigrant smuggling attempt gone tragically awry. The details of the journey were recounted today by a survivor. Federal criminal complaint against the driver, James Matthew Bradley, could face the death penalty over the 10 lives lost. One word for that. Good. He should face the death penalty for that. After an hour, I heard people crying and asking for water. I, too, was sweating, and the people were despairing. That's when I lost consciousness. 27-year-old Aiden Lavagaria told AP from his hospital bed. Bradley, of 60, of Clearwater, Florida, appeared in federal court on charges of illegally transporting immigrants for financial gain, resulting in death. He was ordered held for another hearing on Thursday. He did not enter a plea or say anything about what happened, but in court papers, he told authorities he didn't realize anyone was inside his 18-wheelers until he went outside to relieve himself. Really. In addition to the dead, nearly 20 others rescued from the rig were hospitalized in dire condition, many suffering from extreme dehydration and heat stroke. A number of those on board were from Mexico, Guatemala. Many of the immigrants had hired smugglers who brought them across the U.S. border, hid them in safe houses, and then put them aboard a tractor trailer for the ride northward, according to accounts given to investigators. Hey, you sanctuary cities, huh? Great job. You told these people, hey, if you break the laws, if you sneak across the borders, if you do anything you need to do to break the rules and get to one of our sanctuary cities, we'll take care of you when you get here. Food, clothing, shelter, we'll make your children citizens. We'll give them free college. Why wouldn't you get into a truck and sneak across the border? Nancy Pelosi, the blood of those people is on your hands. Chuck Schumer, their blood is on your hands. City of San Francisco, their blood is on your hands. You politicians, you dumbasses in these sanctuary cities, their blood is on your hands. Do you agree? I'd like to know. Let me know. We have thousands of people watching, listening. Do you agree that the blood is on the hands of the Democrat Party? Now, I'll also put blood on the hands of Republicans who also won't fight to stop the unbelievable flow of illegal immigration. My brother works in a hospital, and he sees people coming in and how illegal immigrants pay nothing. Nothing. They go to the emergency room. They get whatever medical condition they need taken care of. They pay nothing. And then they leave. It's scary. Jeremy says that's right. Democrats hoping to get their votes on later. Yep. Dan says supporters of sanctuary cities should support those going there. Esther, taxpayers are paying for their medical bills. Yep. Yes. Chuck says to fund sanctuary cities. Robin agrees. Mike agrees. Dan agrees. Ann agrees. Laverne, I agree. Rusty, thank you. Jeremy, William, Chuck, Tom, PJ, Brandy, yes. Joyce says, I can't wait till we stop the illegal immigrant invasion. Barbara does not agree. Why not, Barbara? Tell me why. Why don't you agree? I'd like to know, please. Lisa agrees, absolutely. Star says, yes, I agree. Diane, Lisa, Juan, Russell agrees. Patrick agrees. Stephanie agrees. Pat, Steven says, yes, thank you for saying this. Tom, yes. Gloria says, I do agree. The blood is on the hand of the Democrats as well as some of our own party. I agree with that. Thomas, I agree 100%. James says, the sanctuary city they were headed to should pay for the medical and other expenses. And I'll put one other thing out there. I believe a sanctuary city, what they're saying is that we will be the guardian of this person. Kind of like I'm the guardian of my child, right? And if my child does something wrong, I'm responsible. Fortunately, I have a good daughter, 2 good daughters. But let's say they did something and they stole a car, crashed it. I would be responsible for replacing that car. I believe sanctuary cities should be responsible for the crimes that the illegal immigrants that come into their cities seeking sanctuary, I believe those cities should be responsible for the crimes that those illegals cause. What do you mean? They just want to come and work? Some of them do. Not all of them. There are a lot of illegal immigrants that commit crimes. We could pretend that they don't, just like we can pretend a man is a woman. We can pretend a person's a cat. We can pretend all we want, but I live in reality. And reality says, yes, illegal immigrants commit crimes. Not every single one of them, but a large percentage do. Drew says, that's why we need the wall, or at least to stop the detour of drug and human trafficking. Mark says, preach it, Rusty. I'll do it, Mark. Sean says, the blood is on the hand of all politicians who refuse to do anything to stop illegal immigration. I agree. Sandra agrees. Martin says, I don't understand why a city can go against the president. Can someone please explain your system to me? Yes. In some ways, Martin, I agree that cities and states should be able to go against a president. We have a thing called the 10th Amendment. And what it's supposed to mean is that states have rights to create laws that are different than other states. Nevada has prostitution. Some have the legal marijuana. There's certain things, and I believe that our country should be more like that. The problem is that liberals, again, wanted a federal overreach on everything, and so they have bastardized the Commerce Clause to basically say that the federal government is in charge of everything, which is not true. The federal government's main thing was to provide for a common defense. Federal government was not created to provide your education or health care or food stamps or any of those programs. And in the Constitution, it says anything that's not in the Constitution is supposed to go to the states. And we stopped that. And that's wrong. The problem is when you're talking about immigration status, that is common defense. And that certainly falls under the category of federal government. And so I believe that any city or state that condones illegal immigration by having sanctuary cities should not receive one penny, not one penny, of federal funding. That's what I think. Ann says, paying for food, housing, medical, they have nothing when they get here. They're going to be used by people that bring them in. And part of my issue is everybody, oh, I feel sorry for them. I don't feel sorry for them. When you go to a country and you're not prepared, you don't know the language, you don't understand the culture, and you're not financially prepared to move there, and you expect everybody else to take care of you, I have no pity for that person at all. I'm sorry. If I wanted to move to France, I'd learn the language. I would save up money. I would try to get a job before I had there, or at least have enough money saved up so I could live there for 6-8 months, a year, if possible, before I had a job. And if I didn't get a job, I would go home. But that's not what we do here. No, come on in. And by the way, if you pop out a kid, that kid's a citizen. And because that kid's a citizen, somebody's got to take care of them. So we'll pay you food, clothing, and shelter to take care of that kid that you popped out. And by the way, I don't believe anybody should be a citizen unless at least one parent is a citizen. Sorry, that's what I think. Clint says, I live in Texas. About 70% of our Hispanics don't like the illegals. They really don't. They're even harsher than the Anglos are. They have a term that I can't read, so thank you, Clint. Every Democrat should hose an illegal family. Mario says, as an attorney, I love your proposal. Those cities should be responsible. Thank you, Mario. Well said. Sanctuary cities should be responsible for these people. Yep. Joyce, thank you for saying nice things. I appreciate it. Terry says, round up MS-13 gang members, send them to Syria, let them fight ISIS, put them on pay-per-view. That'll pay for the wall. Win-win. I like it. Michael says, I'm getting ribs. Who's hungry? I am. I'm about to end the show. It's a good idea. Okay, anyway, I appreciate all of you. Will you do me a favor? Will you please put some hearts up, some likes, get some thumbs up there really fast? Let people know. Would you please share the video? We got to let everybody know what we're doing here. We're here every night, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 in the West, and I sure appreciate you being a part of this, and we're growing every night. We're getting more and more people watching and listening and sharing, and it's very cool, and we really appreciate it. John says, conservatives have such civil conversations. Thank you, Rusty. I appreciate that. Do me a favor also. I want to tell you about my great sponsors. Stick around. Don't click away. You need to know about sponsors, because without sponsors, I can't do the show. It's how I feed my family. Wax RX is a great product. I actually had to use it today. If you get wax buildup in your ears like I do, this is a simple solution. It is the same products that they use in the doctor's office. Same ear washer purchased by doctors and clinics. It's pH conditioned. It's an ear wash system that actually works. Most of the stuff in the stores don't work. I know, because I've used them a ton of times. This one actually does work, so please do that for yourself if you would please. Also, we are brought to you by Blunt Force Truth. It's a great podcast hosted by Chuck Woolery, the great game show host, and Mark Young, and they do a great job. And if you like podcasts, go to bluntforcetruth.com. You can find that there, or Stitcher, or iTunes, any place great podcasts are. My great book is out. It's now on Audible. We're getting great reviews. I really enjoy doing it. It's a fun and interesting and funny way to learn how to stop the confrontations from escalating. 7 ways to win political debates with your liberal family and friends and still keep them as family and friends. It is a good book, and if you haven't purchased it, would you please do it? I'll tell you, I've got it on sale until the end of the month, and then I'm going to jack the price back up. But I wanted to tell you so you could get it before, Labor Day. Is it Labor Day coming up? I always forget. And Memorial Day is the beginning of summer. Labor Day is the end of summer, right? Yeah. Anyway, get it before you have to meet with family and friends. And so it's only like $5. And the Audible version is great, and I'm totally getting ripped off on that. I couldn't set the price on that, so I'm totally getting robbed. So go get that and enjoy it. I think you will. We're getting some great... Yeah, the book's on audio. Yes, Dan, it just came out on audio. It's on Audible. You can find it at iTunes. You can find it at Amazon or audible.com. And if you've never subscribed to Audible, I love it. And if you get my book first on Audible, I think you get it for free. So go and sign up for Audible. You can do that now. Anything else? Trying to think. Oh, one more quick one. This is funny. Some nice Islamic ladies trying to, well, I'll let you decide what they're trying to do. Watch this one. Look at the yellow container where there's money. Just trying to order. No big deal. They're looking at the menu and they're talking. And if you're listening to the podcast, they've got the headscarves on. And then they're blocking. Oh, did you see her cut it? They just cut one of those things where you put money in for charity. She cut it. They covered it with a menu. And then the other one grabbed it really quick. And there we go. And they stole it. And they're pretending to order. And then they change their mind. And then they're just going to go away. What nice ladies. Isn't that special? Isn't that nice? Oh, did you like my new little, I've got my new little things that I can play in between little logo things. Look at this one. Watch this. It's a little logo thing. Is that cool? This here, if you're on the podcast, you can't see it, but this is pretty. Let's see. One more. I'll play you one more. Wee, ooh, ah. Isn't it pretty? Yes. RustyLive.com. The truth lives here. All right, that's it. Thank you very much. Please go and if you would, please go and check out the sponsors. Again, that's waxrx.com. Australian Dream. Available at Walmart, Walgreens, all great retailers. My book, it's still available at Amazon. 7 ways to win political debates with your liberal family and friends and still keep them as family and friends. I told you about WaxRx, right? Get that at waxrx.com. And I'm here every night, 9 in the East, 6 in the West, here on Facebook Live on Right Wing News. You can also listen to the podcast. And if you're listening to the podcast, I really, really appreciate you. Thank you. Podcast is at iTunes. Just look for the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. That's what it's called. The Rusty Humphries Rebellion. Go find it there. That's it. May God bless you and may God bless America. Thank you so much for listening and watching and being a part of the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. I'm Rusty Humphries. Thanks for hanging. See you tomorrow. Thank you very much. You rock. No, really, you're awesome. Everybody that tuned out by now, I don't like them very much, but you I like. So thanks for being a part of the show. See you tomorrow.